Nagtataka man kayo kung ano ang hawak ko. Ito ay bowl ng Mami, ladies and gentlemen. Nagbabalik po ang aming tandem dito ni Pika at Beef Mami. Welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Philippine Open Group Station. Diba? Naka-ready na ako, guys.
Kuha.
Kuha ka?
Okay. Nagpipika-pika kami ngayon. Let's go!
Yun na nga. Nabuo na po. But maraming salamat for tuning in. And Beef Mami, it's good to be back, of course. And how are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm feeling really good, especially because this tournament is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board. So, PCU, we got you this game and this tournament. Grabe, sobrang solid so far, especially when we started the day off of match number 2.
Ay, naku.
Na akala natin, LPE makakabawi. Pero tignan natin kung makakabawi ngayon yung team na going up against Smart Omega.
Nako. And this is again another tall order. And it's not because we're discrediting, hindi naman sa sinasabi natin hindi kaya itong mangyari. Ano? Pero kasi so far, top of the mountain pa kasi yung ating Smart Omega. So again, for those of you na hindi pa kilala yung ating yung ating top players right now, let's take a look at Smart Omega. Dubbed by many as the trendsetters, the pioneers, and the kickstarters of the entire Call of Duty mobile community dito sa Pilipinas. Of course, nandito na yung mga players natin from Smart Omega.
Okay. I mean, sobrang talented talaga nung team na to. Kasi nga, even when it comes to the leaderboards, nandun talaga sila. Whoopi being that 7th when it comes to the race of having the most total kills. Something na medyo not really unheard of kasi nga, he performed so well. Pero yung importante dito, si Risky, having the top KDA amongst everyone here. 2.18, hindi biro yun, di ba? Sobrang, galing talaga. And not just that, Young J, even though nabago siya dito sa team na to, 2.0 KDA, not too far away from Risky.
Yes, and again, young doesn't mean young literal. Kasi may wisdom na talagang baon dito si Young J. We've seen him go in and out sa mga games nila ng Smart Omega, mostly sa search and destroy. And that's again one of his assets, to be honest. And for now, however, si Risky muna tayo yung kanilang trigger man, as you mentioned.
Oh, grabe talaga si Risky. Actually, lahat talaga sila. But anyway, yung team na to na kanilang susundan, tignan natin kung kaya ng STI. Just to have and find out how this team will perform today, let's check them out. David and Goliath ang istorya ng ngayong matchup na ito. Ito na nga si David, STIE Olympians, not having the best start of the day, pero that's not gonna matter in this matchup. Na even though Smart Omega kanilang titignan at kanilang papalununan, kailangan nila to pick up the points or else they will be eliminated because out of everyone here, sila na lang ang pinakakulelat. But I believe na kaya nila talunin at least one map off of Smart Omega. And for me, feeling ko hard point yun.
Yes, granted, syempre kanina mga kaibigan, kung hindi nyo naabutan yung simula ng ating stream, nagkaroon ng team violation yung ating STIE Olympians which resorted in a forfeit. Kinailangan nilang magbigay ng 2-0 sa kalaban nila which is Bren Epro, and that equates to 3 points. Naku, napakalaking bagay nun kasi kung nakuha naman nila yon kanina, medyo luluwag ng kaunti yung buhay nila dito, Beef Family.
Oh, absolutely. Tignan natin kung makakakuha sila ng puntos dito kung pwede nilang huminga ng maayos. Kasi tignan natin ngayon, okay, I was worried about this moment, Coach Pika. Kasi
yan na
firing
naman.
range, game number 1 hard point. Sasabihin ko na dapat kanina bago natin makita itong maps and modes no? SMO, sobrang galing nila dito sa firing range hard point. Not really dropping one map, but for STIE Olympians, always loses here for hard point firing range.
Nako, Beef Mami, bakit pag tuwing kasama kita, laging yung search and destroy
Slums,
is
no?
slums? Hindi ko ni-request yan, guys. Pero here we go. And as Beef Mami mentioned nga dito, nag-excel yung ating Smart Omega. However, yung kanilang track record when it comes to hardpoint, dun tayo medyo nagtatanong ng kaunti. Not to say na hindi nila kaya, pero that's a mode na natalo sila once ng Bren E-Pro.
Absolutely. And now with that loss, tignan natin kung kaya nila kumambak when it comes to all of the points. But nakita nga natin earlier in match number 2, diba? And even though they were leading, that one team, LPE rather, COW was able to come back. So tignan natin kung yung STIE Olympians kaya nila talunin at basically not lose morale. And now, speaking of, Whoopi goes down. So that's a boost of morale na nga.
And unang hakbang, however, ay nasa side ng STIE Olympians. Ito na ba yun? Ito na ba yung kinakailangan nilang confidence and morale boost as Beef Mami was saying earlier? Empty hardpoint dito mga kaibigan. Tama naman yung pwesto ni Zunex, to be honest. Maganda yung control niya ng upper steel house dito mga kaibigan. However, tinapakan na kailangan ng humabol ng kaunti dito ng Smart Omega. Hindi pa rin sila pwede mag-relax dito, Beef Mami, when it comes to points.
Absolutely. Not just that, with PJ just running and gunning here, especially sa trailer. So, again, this man has probably one of the best KDAs here and also the best kills, 194. Sobrang konti lang compared to Yako yung number 1. So, he can definitely spearhead his team. And, kailangan niya tulungan yung team niya when it comes to the kills. Speaking of the man himself, hindi makakuha ng second kill. But the rotation already going to next hardpoint for the STI.
Here we go. Ayun na nga yung nakita natin just for a few more seconds. Ilang segundo na lang. Magtatagal pa ng kaunti doon si Idra para lang makakuha ng scraps. However, lamang naman sila, Beef Mami. So okay pa rin naman ang situation. Pero if you look at the minimap dito, mga ka-COD community, nauna doon sa ating hardpoint yung STI Olympians. Medyo empty siya kanina. Ngayon, ito na, sa kanila natatakbo to. Are they gonna be able to catch up? Medyo malaki yung deficit dito pero maaga pa naman. Unang rotation pa lang to ng mga maps natin. And look at this. Wow! What a gunfight from Rage.
Rage, syempre. Galing talaga niyan when it comes to the multi-kills. This guy never fails. And now, Candy, speaking of yung MVP from the past day, number 3, nakatatlong patay na nga. So, ang galing ng break coming in from the side of SMO. And even though maaga yung rotation ng STI, it doesn't really matter because yung Slayer sila sa labas, hindi talaga makakuha ng mga kills.
Here we go. And now with 25 na lang, pinipilit pa rin kumontes dito ng ating Olympians. Pero tumatakbo pa rin in favor of SMO. Ayan, pumuposisyon na nga si Whoopi. Ito, very uncharacteristic kay Whoopi na medyo maging passive or at least sa alam ng karamihan. Now with 10 seconds left, kumukuha pa rin yung Smart Omega. Very good choice here. Pero if you notice, Beef Mami, ito na, nag-pre-position na ulit dito yung ating SMO.
Absolutely. Ganda ng rotation coming in from Smart Omega. And even though hindi sila na-rotate ng maaga dito sa P2, they did so dito sa P3. Not only that, taking a look at what they have so far. Medyo yung util coming in from STI, si Zunex lang naman yung nagkaroon ng may pana. Pero syempre, coming in from Risky, meron din. Zunex, speaking of, gets the claw kill, gets so many kills, flushes out all the players from Omega. And there you go, Zunex with the assist.
Ibang klase yung naging death ni Candy doon. Kahit na nauna siya ng by how many shots, siya pa rin yung nadali. Oh my goodness, here we go now. Whoopi, again with a Peacekeeper, very uncharacteristic. Kilala natin si Whoopi, Mr. One Shot, One Kill yan. Pero ngayon, mukhang close quarters ang diskarte. Virus still with this claw. And mukhang ito ang picked poison dito, Beef Mami, ng ating STIE Olympians. Ito na, lumalapit na yung score, 75-52, 53 and counting. 15 seconds na lang natitira sa ating trailer. Mukhang kailangan na mag-rotate dito, Beef Mami. Empty pa yung ating Woodhouse.
Ang ganda ng rotation ng STI and yung break going into P3. Grabe. Laban-laban o bawi-bawi. Lumaban ngayon ng STI. Ang ganda ng diskarte nila. But then obviously the rotation going into P4 is gonna be the most important. Pero sobrang solid ng hold ngayon ng SMO kasi nga they do have a hold of bathroom.
So far, ganun na nga. Yan yung sinasabi natin, yung power position sa may bathroom dito and those ruined cars. Again, good vantage points dito sa side ng SMO. However, ito na nga yung ating STI. Hindi nila pakakawalan to kasi nagawa nila kanina eh. Nahabol nila from Steelhouse. Ayan na, si Idra, Mr. Anchor himself, nasa loob lang. Very, very good hold. Pero si Zunex na penetrate. Empty hardpoint tayo ngayon, Beef Mami.
Grabe, yung push nila just to send 3 players all the way into the backside of trailer, into bathroom. Yun na nga,
Naku.
that was a game changer kasi nga, that also dictates the spawns where
Yes.
STI will be. And now, medyo hirap na nga ang SMO kasi they're going through mid, which is such an open area. But just as I said that, hindi nila masustain kasi they're just losing all of their gunfights. Si Zunix na rin nag-iisa dito.
And bumaba na siya from the second floor. No choice siya. Wala siyang no choice. But QWERTY takes himself out. Nako, malaking bagay yun mga kaibigan. Sayang yung manpower nung nawala si QWERTY. 10 seconds left and magro-rotate na ulit tayo sa unang hardpoint dito. Let's see who has the initiative. Sino ba ang rightfully nakukuha nito? At mukhang ito na nga. It's an STI play. Sinabi mo na to kanina, Beef Mami. Maganda yung sense of rotation dito ng E-Olympians.
And now, speaking of, they do have control of top 10.
Oo.
Pero nga lang yung Smart Omega, kuha nila yung trailer. So at least one power position apiece from both of these teams. And so far, so good coming from
Ayan.
Omega kasi may umapak na nga si Whoopi. Siya na nga yun. Not just that, si Whoopi at si
Ako na.
Risky, ready na sila. Ready na sila. Din mo yung operator skills. Yun
Yes.
na.
108 to 93 and empty hardpoint pa. Ginagawa nilang bluff point muna to ngayon, Beef Mami. Ano? Wala mo nang kukuha at least. Kasi mahaba-haba pa to. 250 yung hahabulin natin. However, naramdaman na ng SMO, hindi na kailangan natin kunin to. Otherwise, yung lead natin medyo walang kwenta na. Kasi maiksi na lang yan, Beef Mami, di ba? If nabibilang nyo yung mga seconds dito, isang tapak lang na maayos dyan from the side of SDI, bawing-bawi na kagad.
Hirap na hirap yung STI dito sa first hardpoint eh. No, even nung first half of the game, medyo nahirapan talaga sila. Pero this is kind of where they shine going into P2. And now finally Owen gets that really essential kill. Pero nga lang, dalawa na lang sila doon. When it comes to the respawns, who else is there? Pero buti na lang nag-respawn agad yung teammate nila doon. Again, sobrang kalat, but I feel like in this point of the game, medyo madali na pumunta dito ang SMO if, let's see, player number 1, Virus, loses his gunfight.
Here we go, 5 seconds left on the hardpoint ticker dito, mga ka-community. 1 second left and it's gonna start running on the side of the E-Olympians. Whoopi, handa na naman ang claw, yung panira ng CD. Ayan, si PJ, takes out Candy again. Kanina pa nangyari sa kanya yan. Kanina pa nangyari yan. And si Rage, naka-trophy kill kay PJ. Medyo nangyari na din sa atin to dati. Beef Mami, ano?
Oo nga eh, yung MVP natin, yung trophy system. Pero here we go. Grabe si Virus. If napansin nyo, buhay pa rin siya. Siya yung nag-solo hold dito sa P2, which prompted STI to get a lot more points. And also, I mean, it wouldn't really happen if his teammates were absolutely winning when it comes to the slaying outside of the hardpoint. 22 seconds left and the scrap points go to SMO.
Ayan na, 18 seconds and by this time, sigurado alam na din nila, initiative na nila na i-secure yung third hardpoint, aka yung trailer natin. Mahirap ma-retrieve yan once na nakuha na ng kalaban nyo. So, eto na nga, si Candy, tinatry pa rin na mag-hold ng power position sa may mid. Doon muna siya sa may labas ng konti. And ito na, tumatakbo na naman ang oras on the side of STI. Who's gonna get it first? Eto na, naka-cluster na sila, nakaipon na sila doon sa may bandang trailer dito. Beef Mami, sino kaya ang unang makakapagpailaw? Oh, and it is a blue one. Medyo maasul ang hardpoint natin. Prize fighter, good attempt. Ito naman si Zunex na naman.
Si Owen pumapakyaw, but then obviously Zunex with a claw just absolutely helps him. Yun na nga. Ang ganda ng rotation ni PJ doon kanina. I mean, medyo nauna siya. I feel like it was too early. Hindi nila kinontest yung hardpoint that prompted Omega having those scrap points in P2. Pero nga lang, ito na nga. Maganda. Heavy util coming in from the side of SEO. Heavy defense. So, for SMO, all they need to do is just absolutely contested. And now with the help of the smoke, yun na nga yun. Risky ulit na may grenade kill.
And originally, I was gonna say na nag-tie, pero ngayon lamang na ulit ang SDI. And malaki to. Kapag na-hold pa nila kahit itong 20 seconds na itong problema na yung SMO dito, Beef Mami. Kasi, again, hindi hinahayaan ng STI na unguarded yung mga hardpoints. Kung papansin ninyo, mga ka-community, mga kaibigan. Lagi lang silang malapit. They make sure na yung spawns madalas sa kanila napupunta. Here we go. 1 second left. Ayan na. Konting na lang dito. 6 seconds sa ating fourth hardpoint. And mukhang ito na nga ang magiging momentum shifter ng ating E-Olympians.
Ayun, ang galing talaga ng rotation nila. Like the first half, same thing happening here. Going in from the backside into red bathrooms. Pero unfortunately for them, doesn't really quite get it. Whoopin na naman gets a trophy system kill. Gets rid of PJ. Talaga MVP talaga. Kung si Mr. Bravo 6 natin, yung in-interview na later siguro yung trophy system. Sure ako dyan. But anyway, now we finally see yung rotation. Wag mo nang batukan ng bomba yan. Okay lang yan. Basta lumayo ka.
181 to 183. Now, this is so neck and neck. Magkadikit lang talaga sila mga kaibigan, mga ka-community. Ang ating SMO na muna ngayon, ang tatapak sa hardpoint. Nangalahati, mahigit na yung nakuha nilang points sa ating 4th hardpoint. Now, of course, magro-rotate ulit ito sa hardpoint number 1. Pero sino ba ang kukuha nito? We know na yung STI kanina, ang ganda ng mga rotates nila. As Beef Mommy said, the spawns also go to them. Sila yung pinapaboran, sa totoo lang.
Oh, yung pabor talaga was in the favor when it comes to that early rotation dito sa bathroom. Pero nga lang, basa na ng Omega. So alam nila, okay, same play happening here. We're gonna do the same thing and just basically change it a little bit. But then tignan natin ngayon, yung STI mauna dito sa first hard point. Pero nga lang, wala silang power position.
Yun, ang isa pa dyan, ayun na, si Owen, naamoy na ni Whoopi na nandun sa may watchtower and he gets taken out. Idra, is he gonna win this? Not quite. Si Zunex na naman, hindi peaceful ang paggamit ng Peacekeeper ni Idra. Here we go, Zunex tries to get that power position near the broken car dito sa ating command center. Well, and again, it's a bluff point dito, Beef Mommy.
Actually, ang ganda talaga ng play ng SMO kasi they smoke that part of trailer that actually has the sight line dito sa P1.
Yes.
So, there's basically one sight line cut down and not only that, they do have a solid hold. And whoopee, ganun na naman. Nakakuha na madaming kill but not able to sustain it really well. And now just like that, scrap points coming in from the side of STI and mukhang ili-let go na ata ng SMO. But, good thing with that 2v1 situation going for that next rotation, but then big kill coming in from Owen! Gets that big essential two-piece. Okay, that's a game changer for me.
Sobra. Now medyo magkukumahog, mahihirapan na naman ng kaunti dito ang retrieve sa side ng SMO. Ito na yung sinasabi mo kanina, Beef Mommy. Medyo crucial yon, yung dalawang taong napatay napitas na yon rather. Here we go. Candy din bumabawi. However, ito na, contest muna for now and unbelievable retake from Candy.
Grabe yun, nakatatlo. Tapos
and sa kanila
180 pa.
Yes.
I mean, sagutan lang talaga. Really big kill coming in from Owen for STI and really big kills coming in from Omega from the line of Candy. Ay, nako, unfortunately, PJ takes himself out and now to contesting after contesting, and this is what we expected and what we like to see performance when it comes to STI. Grabe, sobrang galing talaga.
Ayan na. Are you gonna count it with me, mga ka-community? 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hindi hinayaan, but again, SMO emerges victorious, 250 to 213. What a first game.
Grabe yung mga solo plays ngayon no? I mean, it's just Candy. If it was like in match number 2, I think it was 1 kill. I mean, 3 kills coming from the side of iPod trailer din yun That was going to be in firing range hardpoint as well. Ayun, nakita natin parang ano siya a little bit of what happened a while ago, but in the form of Candy getting that essential 3-piece. Grabe.
Again, kinailangan talaga yun. Kasi if not, mauuna na kagad doon yung SMO, di ba? I rather yung STI, yung SEO natin. But again, this is the tale of the tape, the story of the game. Candy, as hindi man namin binati, pero siya talaga, mukhang siya talaga yung nagbuhat for this particular game, which is 44 kills, but 28 deaths, really good number of assists. Fairly good naman yung nagawa niyang objective, pero sa kanila, si Idra talaga yung pinaka nag-stay.
Absolutely, with 1 minute and 50 seconds rather. But everyone else in their team just did such an amazing job. And yun na nga, yung kills, obviously, alam na natin si Whoopi, si Risky, sila yung mga slayers dun sa labas. And everyone else in OBJ did their absolute best. And also for the side of SEO, sobrang galing din nila I feel like yung naging, basang-basa na kasi ng SMO, especially yung reset tayo. When they tried to go in from P3 going to P4, dun sa likod, diba? Alam na ng SMO, okay, they did that in the first half. Okay, let's shut them down with the same play.
And I would dare say na maganda yung tutok, for lack of better term dito, Beef Mommy, talagang on point yung mga gunfights dito ng SMO. Good calls right there. May mga tapang moments din sila na kailangan kong kunin to mag-isa. Ito na yung candy play na yun na nakakatuwa. And si Whoopi, nung na-take out niya yung nasa watchtower, that was absolutely good, absolutely beneficial. May magandang naidulo talaga. Ito na si Zunex. Ito na binabati na kanina pa namin na talaga namang parang ipis. Ang tawag namin, ay mamatay ni Zunex kanina, mga kaibigan.
Actually, Omega parang meron silang chinelas. Parang sinaswat na lang na gano'n. Ayaw nila gamitin yung spray. Kasi syempre,
Di kailangan, di pa kailangan.
Hindi kailangan. Bawal namin sabihin kung anong brand yun. Pero alam nyo na yun, kulay green. Kasi, di ba, Omega!
Yes. May unscented din, mga kaibigan.
Unscented.
Here we go. So ito medyo dumikit, Beef Mami. Medyo
Oo.
lumapit yung score nila dito, specifically on the side of SEO. Kasi again, sila yung sobrang objective-based, or at least yung karamihan sa kanila objective-based. So good stuff right there, yun yung mga tapang plays na sinasabi ko kanina. Kailangan na hindi mo na pwedeng antayin kasi yung teammates mo na maging backup pa. Otherwise, tatakbo yung oras. Owen was one of them. Si Zunex is also one of them. But on the side of Omega, si Candy, si Rage, sila yung mga madalas. There we go. Ang ganda nun, yung pag-sniff ni Whoopi doon, nakita niya na
And not just that, si PJ din. Sobrang important talaga nung member to for
Big
the
play.
side of SEO. Big plays. Pero it's just nice to see everyone else from STA actually stepping it up. Pero grabe talaga tong patay ni Candy. Imagine mo, nasa harap na nga, I forgot who it was, di ba?
Hindi siya,
parang needs more attention to the map and the players kasi he had the upper hand of being hidden into that corner. Pero yun na nga, Candy, syempre, yung para siyang meron spidey senses, no?
Kasi nag three-way pre-fire pa si Candy, di ba? Nag-pre-fire siya diretso doon sa loob ng command center sa kaliwa, and then tsaka pa lang siya tumingin sa kanan, and nadali niya pa rin. Nakapitas pa rin siya. But again, good stuff to Smart Omega, to SMO. STIE Olympians, hindi pa rin tapos. They just take game number 1. Mahaharangan ba ito ng mga Olympians natin? But before anything else, syempre, kung gusto nyo makakita pa ng mga ganitong clips, any updates for the Nationals, please do follow the Nationals on our social media platforms. That's facebook.com/PHNationals at PHNationals on Twitter and Instagram kung mas gusto nyo mas detailed, And of course, our YouTube channel, if you want those VODs, syempre panoorin nyo yung mga load nyo, mga kaibigan. Of course, that's youtube.com/thenationalsph.
Don't forget to comment down below kung sino nyo pwedeng. I feel like when you give that option to people, diba? Feeling ko mag-aawayan talaga sa comment section yun, diba?
Bakayan yan, guys.
For sure. Alam natin yung mga fan ng Omega, especially pag fan ka ng STI, tignan natin kung pwede na lang i-sustain yung momentum coming into that hard point loss. We'll see you in that search and destroy.
Dogs.
Dogs po.
Dogs.
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 Coffee.
Coffee.
Tea.
Coffee.
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 Hot.
Ice. Cold. Cold.
Hot.
Cold.
Hot.
Cold.
Wala.
Wala po. Walang reasons. Wala.
Meron.
Wala.
Pineapple.
Pineapple on pizza. Pineapple on pizza.
No pineapple. Pineapple.
No pineapple.
Sinigang.
Sinigang. Sinigang.
Sinigang. Tinola.
Sinigang. Cats. Cats.
Dog.
Dogs.
Dog po.
Coffee. 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 Coffee.
Coffee po.
Hot. 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 Cold.
Hot po.
May raisins. Wala.
Wala po.
Wala.
Wala po.
Pineapple on pizza.
No pineapple.
May pineapple po.
No pineapple on pizza.
May pineapple po.
Tinola.
Sinigang.
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 Bibili ako ng bahay, tas re-reguluhan ko mga magulang ko kasi sila yung sumusuporta sa akin.
Bibili ng bahay para may tirahan.
Bibigay ko po lahat sa lola ko.
Magpagawa ng bahay. Gastusin sa mga gadgets. Punta sa
Ito ang Call of Duty Mobile Philippine Open, powered by the Nationals. It's your girl, Beef Mommy, and with me today is Pika Pika. Pero, meron akong isang tanong para sa inyo. Sobrang importanteng tanong para sa iyo, Coach Pika. Ha?
Yes.
Tinola or sinigang?
Medyo mahalagang tanong nga yan.
Oo.
Sige nga, sinigang talaga.
Oh, sinigang-gang tayo
Alam
dito.
ko maraming aapila dyan, maraming sasagot dyan, pero I'm not gonna change my stand. Sinigang talaga, lalo na pag sinigang na isda. And speaking of, sa mga katanungan natin dito mga kaibigan, kayo ba ay gustong makanood ng mga natitirang VODs ng ating Call of Duty Mobile Philippine Open? Please do not hesitate to follow our social media accounts. That's facebook.com/PHNationals, at PHNationals, Twitter and Instagram. Last but not least, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/TheNationalsPH.
And this tournament is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board. So again, a little bit of a shout out for them. Love y'all. Thank you so much for giving this tournament and giving us a really positive environment. Okay, but speaking of a positive environment, are we gonna be positive para sa STIE Olympians dito sa Search and Destroy? Kasi nga nakita natin, there were moments of beauty dito sa may hardpoint matchup, di ba? They started so well, but now dito tayo for your favorite map, di ba? Slum. So what do you think? Ano yung chance nila na kayang-kaya nila tong mapang to?
Honestly, I'd say it could go either way. Pwedeng kahit sino manalo dito. Pero ang crowd favorite natin dito, Beef Mommy, obviously is Smart Omega. Kasi alam natin na isa sa mga strong points talaga nila yung Search and Destroy throughout the years that they've been playing. Ito yung pinapaboran talaga sa kanila. Kahit anong mapa pa yan, to be honest. And with Slums ngayon, it's complex. Ito na nga pinag-usapan natin the last time. May mga butas dito, may mga points, may mga angulo dito na akala mo lang safe ka na. Pero yung the likes of Young Jay, who just went in, by the way, para dito sa Search and Destroy nila, with Whoopi, medyo nakakatakot pa rin.
Actually, just going into what you said, diba? Grabe yung mga eskinita dito.
Yes,
Hindi mo alam na may butas pala or pwede mo siyang ma-wallbang when it comes to the gameplay. Especially yung nga sa mga sniper, diba? So, yun na nga. When it comes to Search and Destroy and yung snipers, kasi Young J is always that one person, yung sniper number 2 nakita natin. Pero nakita natin dun sa may KDA, he's actually up there in the middle of the pack.
Yes, and si Young Jay naman, of course, mga ka-CODM, kilala natin siya na napaka-active na player, very outspoken. Pero kapag dumating na nga sa point dito na seryosohan na, ayun na. Ang pinakasasabihin niya na talaga dito yung mga commands niya as, of course, an in-game leader / captain. And medyo it's a big advantage on the side of Smart Omega na may Whoopi na eh. Pero may Young Jacob pa rin, and that's great. That's a very good feat na mako-comment natin sa kanila. But ito nga, sa Slums, ang hirap din masabi dito, Beef Mommy, kung talagang sa Smart Omega to kasi this map kasi mga kaibigan, kung hindi nyo lang nalalaman, ang dami nitong in-open na opportunities na iba-ibang styles. So kung shotgunnerist ka, or sniperist ka, or SMG aficionado ka, pwede ka pa rin dito.
Pwede, oo. Kaya nga, sobrang love na love talaga natin yung game mode na to, SMD, and also this map, and it plays so well together. Kasi nga, you can just stretch it out. Yun yung favorite ko dito, kung gusto mo mag-rotate, kung gusto mo likurin yung kalaban mo, kayang-kaya, diba? And so, now, when it comes to the stats in Search and Destroy, both of these teams, hindi pa sila naglalaro dito sa Slums, kaya sobrang excited ako how they're gonna bring things into the table.
And again, donning the natural habitat, rather comfort zone pala ni Young Jay, is yung talagang sniper niya, like the usual. Pero mukhang aapila din naman doon, mukhang papalag din si PJ. Nakita ko, ready na rin siya. Young Jay, yan na nga sinasabi ko! Nakasnipe si Whoopi, na-take out niya si QWERTY, at nadali rin naman ni PJ.
Good trades all across the board from both of these teams. A 3v3 situation. Pero nga lang yung mahirap dito, bomb will go down. And now for STO, kailangan nila i-pick up yung bomba. Pero nga lang, tignan natin, quick as rage. Sobrang nakatutok talaga siya sa bomba. Alam nila kung nasaan talaga to.
Uy, Si Virus medyo slow and steady muna doon, mga ka-CODM. Ano? PJ and Virus are the only ones left dito. Si Candy looking pretty healthy. Dalawa pa lang rather ang napipitas sa side ng Smart Omega. So check lang natin to, yung bomba nasa may bandang gitna dito, Beef Mami, nasa may rotonda. Wala bang mangangahas, especially on the side of SEO?
Di ko alam kung gusto ko tong plane na to coming from STI eh. Kasi ang layo nila, they're just waiting for a response. Pero di nila alam na kailangan talaga nila to just pick up the bomb site. But, you know, as we're trying to stretch things out and try to figure out kung ano nangyari sa game na yun, syempre, we have to just have a little bit of a break. Kasi feel ko may kailangan tayo ayusin when it comes to the game. Maybe that's why hindi sila gumalaw. But, again, hita natin yung aggression from both of these teams. Kaya nilang sumabay yung STI eh.
Medyo spoiler alert lang muna. Mukhang ganun nga magiging plan nila kung ganun man yung babalikan natin na game. Ano? On the side of SEO, syempre, we know na attacker sila. Sila yung may hawak sa tempo ng game. You know, sila yung makakapag-dictate niya kung habaan pa natin, extend pa natin. Pero yung advantage, of course, ng pagiging pasensyoso, nasa side naman ito ni Smart Omega, which we've seen many times before. So, most likely sa ngayon, mga ka-COD community, magre-room lang sila. Gawa lang ng bagong room ulit.
Yeah. Yun nga, speaking of a game remake, tignan nga natin, you actually brought up such a great point nga, diba? Will STI, magiging aggressive ba ulit sila into that game number 1 or mababasa ba ng SMO? Pero, feeling ko, ibahin nila yung gameplay nila. Feeling ko babagalan nila eh. Because, okay, yes, they were able to get trades, but then they also got traded out. So, medyo wala din nangyari. Not just that, yung bomba, it was dropped right in the center of mid.
Yun yung nakakaba kasi mukhang nagplan na eh. Mukhang meron na silang initiative. Ang problema nga lang, sorry, we had to make re-room muna tayo, mga ka-COD community. So, again, that's an interesting point na baka nga maging passive naman ng kaunti ulit dito yung STI. However, baka baliktad naman. Ang mangyari naman dito, i-wait out lang talaga sila ni SMO. Dahil nga defender sila, time will be on their side. Tandaan nyo po mga ka-COD community, if hindi nyo pa familiar yung search and destroy, kapag defender kayo, time ang kakampi nyo dito. Hindi kayo pressured magtanim, hindi kayo pressured pumatay or pumitas ng iba-ibang players, 'di ba? You just have to weather the storm. Abang-abang lang, kumbaga.
Actually, same goes to attacker. Kung na-plant mo yung bomb, time is also on your side. All you have to do is play for time, tago ka lang dyan, and really just have a sideline din. Kasi nakita natin is sa match number 2 na ninja defuse na nga. So even though, yes, you play for time, kailangan mo talaga tignan yung bomba. Kailangan, madikit talaga yung mata mo doon sa bomb side. But again, while we're waiting, don't forget to check out our socials into our Facebook. That is facebook.com/PHNationals, and also for Twitter, that is going to be PHNational @PHNational. And now for YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, buksan nyo rin yung YouTube sa kabilang browser, di ba? Kasi syempre, give our support. That's youtube.com/TheNationalsPH. And syempre, while we're waiting for the game to load up, get your drinks, get your food, yung pika-pika natin, yung Beef Mami natin, kasi medyo nakakagutom talaga itong matchup na to.
Totoo yan. Me is lucky nakasama si Beef Mami. Hey! Alright, there we go.
Lucky me naman. I'm so lucky. Grabe.
Ako nga, me is lucky with Beef Mami. So, swerte din tayo. Swerte din tayo mga kaibigan na nakahingi tayo ng kaunti. Pero maswerte tayo because this entire tournament is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board. Thank you so much for guiding us and making sure that the tournament is legitimate and goes smoothly. Now, matanong naman kita, Beef Mami. So, alam na natin na slums ito. Kung ikaw pa pipiliin naman, nang ipapalit mo sa slums. Ikaw lang ha, ikaw lang. Sige. Search and destroy dapat. Search and destroy.
Hacienda.
Sabi ko na eh.
Hacienda
Sabi
talaga.
ko na. Dapat pinusta ko na.
Oo nga, dapat naglabas na tayo dito ng mga di ba? Mga pagkain na matitrade in natin. But yun nga, I feel like for Hacienda, since it's such a big map, sobrang laki ng lawak talaga ng mapa na to. Ang ganda ng mga plays na na-come up with when it comes to the players. And yun nga, with the...
Ikaw
Oo.
Ikaw, play mo. Play mo
play mo.
Sige.
Lang. 1v1 tayo, tara.
Yun!
Naghamon na.
Naghamon na guys. Baka coach.
Joke lang. Legendary to eh. Ako master lang.
O hindi, Smurf yan. Smurf yung kay Beef Mami na yun, guys. But, yun nga, Hacienda. Sige. Actually, ang naalala ko dito, merong time kasi dito sa mga rank mode, kausapin lang natin yung mga rank moders natin dyan. Hirap na hirap silang pumili sa slums tsaka sa Hacienda. Kapag yun yung pagpipilian mong maps, hindi nila alam kung saan sila lalapag, lalo na kung search and destroy. Kasi both of these maps, medyo mahirap i-accomplish kapag search and destroy. Hardpoint, sige. 'Di ba? Lalo na sa Hacienda.
I love hardpoint
Ang
Hacienda.
ganda ng Hacienda na hardpoint kasi sobrang thrilling. May mga magkakalayo na hardpoints, may magkakatatabi na hardpoints, pero overall, and the map is beautiful by the way. May tubig.
Oh, yun, may tubig yun talaga. Makita, especially for search and destroy, hindi mo
Yes.
akalain na mayroon palang tao doon sa tubig. Yung pala, nasa likod mo na. So that's why I really love the complexity of this map. Pero feeling ko, iba din yung yung ganda ng slums compared to Hacienda. Siyempre, it's smaller, mas maganda rin yung, and shorter talaga yung engagement na Hacienda. You can just stretch it out and now going in for the long rotation. Siyempre, when it comes to the power position. But actually, let me ask you, let me throw you a question as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to control, kasi so
Ay.
far, isa pa lang,
Ay.
dalawa pa lang yun ang nakita nating control matches, di ba? And so
Ah.
far, we're casting a team that has played control, which is going to be Smart Omega, and they played it in Summit, but obviously, madikit yun eh. It was in Summit. What do you think? What control map yung gusto mo makita dito against these two teams?
Take off.
Take off control.
Take off. Kasi yung take off na map kasi as it on its own as it is hard point man yan, search and destroy man yan, kahit domination pa yan, mahirap talaga kasi multi-leveled yung yung take off eh. Merong mga second floor, 'di ba, may mga magandang mezzanine levels, may mga vantage points, may mga window peaks kung naalala mo na talaga namang ang hirap ang hirap i-sort out. Pero speaking of sorting out, mukhang na-sort out na yung issue natin dito between Smart Omega and the STIE Olympians. Here we go.
Nandito na tayo sa exciting part.
Hey.
My husband right now is PJ because he's doing such an amazing job at representing his team.
Uy, nako, ito na. Si Rage naman. Nakita ko ba ng tama yon? Naka R9 na naman. Si Rage. Nag-usap yan. Nako, humanda ka sa akin mamaya. Ibigay mo sa akin ang iyong bank accounts. Never mind. Okay, ito na si Whoopi. Oh! Right in the noggin, mga kaibigan. Si Whoopi. Ay, natunaw na si Beef Mami.
Ay, my goodness. Agad na sana ng play.
Ow! Yan
But
na,
there you
yan
go,
na.
PJ. Gets one.
Si Whoopi pa, yung
Oo
kanyang
nga eh.
napitas.
Yung kanyang arch nemesis dito sa S&D slums. But
Oops.
nakita na nga, munti ka na
Good
makuha si Candy. Pero ang galing ng pressure na na-apply ng SMO. And I feel like yung kay Zunex, okay na sana eh. He tried to bait that plant.
Yeah,
Chinek niya.
totoo.
Pero alam niya kasi na may player doon na pupunta. Not just that, wala siyang backup whatsoever, no?
Unfortunate kasi mukhang hindi na pag-usapan or I'm just assuming baka ganun nga yung nangyari na lost in translation yung nangyari sa mga players na. However, here we go. This is round number 2. Hindi pa huli ang lahat. Maaga-aga pa tayo. This looks like a B game dito on the side of STIE Olympians.
Ayun, si Owen pulling some shots, Whoopi just going in 5 HP left para sa kanya. And now, we are seeing a slower gameplay dito. Pero alam that allows SMO to kind of push themselves a little bit harder. Especially, tingnan na to. Number 2 coming in from STI. And number 3, speaking of, gets that rage. Finally gets that pick. Hey, my goodness. Grabe talaga yung sagutan ng teams na to.
Here we go, Rage with the R9 putting it to good effect against shotgun to. Medyo may limits ang kaya nitong ipatumba, mga kaibigan. And si Idra nakapagpasabog lang sa sakyan kanina, and that resulted into a kill, Beef Mami. So here we go. This is a 3-on-3 good ratio right here. Si Virus napitas na naman si Rage. Here we go, and natitira lang dito si Zunex, si QWERTY, and si Virus. Oh, si Idra punches back. Wall bang king. Is he gonna be able to do it? Yes, he does. Last one. Oh my goodness.
Candy gets the final blow. And yun na nga. When it comes to the chopper talaga, especially in the hands of Idra, it's very nostalgic because alam mo talaga sobrang galing niya. We've seen it around a year, more than a year ago, where siya yung nagpasikat talaga ng chopper, diba? He knows all the wallbang spots, and obviously, that was such a good trade, and now Candy going in there for the backup as well. Sayang, STI, it was actually clutchable, and now Whoopi getting that 2-piece, opening things up real well for Smart Omega.
There we go, si QWERTY naman, bumawi kay Whoopi right in the noggin with that peacekeeper. Candy securing yung ating site dito ngayon, mga ka-COD community. Si PJ, ito mukhang pwesto niya talaga to, Beef Mami. Mukhang tinataka niya na eh. Dito muna ako.
Minatahan na niya yung pwesto na to. Pero ito yung mahirap dyan. You're pushed all the way down there, and pag kailangan ka ng teammates mo, nasaan ka na. And siya yung laging nagiging last chance dito for STI. And now, yes, this man is very, very talented when it comes to gunfights. Pero nga lang, when it comes to this team game, they're just falling like flies, especially kung magiging aggressive sila. Walang support galing sa sniper nila eh.
Eh, sabi nga nung isang Red Queen dyan, walang malakas sa madami. Kaya yun na ang numbers game. Si PJ dito, ayun na nga. Medyo nadaplisan ng kaunti ang ating natitirang Olympiano. Ayun na si Idra. Tumakbo gamit ang chopper. So here we go. Last man standing naman sa kabila si Candy. Si Mr. MVP. Isa sa may pinakamaraming MVPs dito. Beef Mami, let's see kung yung bomba nga dito mapupulot pa ni PJ. Kasi ngayon, 40 seconds left on the clock, lutang pa yung bomba.
Oh, lutang na lutang yung bomba. And then now for Candy, ang ganda ng position niya to go and defend the bomb. Kasi tignan
boy.
mo, kita na nga yung bomba. Not just that, he has that information. PJ goes down. Kakaiba talaga
Galing.
ang clutch factor coming in from Candy. As in, umikot talaga siya. Ang ganda ng pwesto niya, knowing very well that he is safe and secure in that head glitch. And yun na nga, nakakuha na nga sila ng isa pang puntos, 3-0. And even though feeling ko nung last 2 rounds, winnable yun for STI eh.
Tama. Doon sa cracked wall, he found shelter there. Na talaga may silong siya. Now, in this sense, let's see kung magpapalit ng tempo yung ating E-Olympians. It looks like it's gonna be, again, a B game.
Oh my goodness, Young J with a beautiful 2K. And now
Yes.
with Owen though, goes in there for the trade. And now 3v4 situation. Isang pitas na lang kailangan si PJ. Medyo malayo ulit. Again, medyo siya na naman yung kailangan lumapit eh. Pero nga lang, player number 5 katabi niya si Idra. So again, Chopper versus
Uy!
Sniper. Okay. Kailangan talaga ng ng
Gunfight?
assist when it comes to Zunex.
Totoo yan. Si PJ kailangan niya din. And kailangan niya ring tumulong, to be honest. If I may say so myself. Kasi ito na nga, mukhang ginawa niya ng tahanan itong base side nila. And again, this is not, it doesn't bode well. Hindi masyadong pabor to sa side ng E-Olympians kasi kailangan nilang gumawa ng objective.
Absolutely. And for him, kailangan nandun siya sa may Bravo eh. Kasi yung kalaban mo, long range engagement, kailangan mo basically going in there. That's P4 in hard point. Kailangan nandun siya pumesto, kumuha ng pumitas. And now, mahirapan sila. They're going up against a Chopper yet
Ayan
again.
na
Now,
nga.
speaking of, Idra
Yes.
gets one, but then Zunex gets the trade. Pero nga lang, ito na nga. A 1v3 situation and with a Switchblade, you already know, SMO is gonna close in the gap.
Nakakatakot kasi din kay Idra, Beef Mami, kung pwede natin banggitin is, kapag nakita ka na kasi nung chopper niya, parang good as dead ka na. Speaking of good as dead, ayun na, Whoopi. Ang ganda nung pinch nung time na yun between Whoopi and Zunex. And I was saying kanina na si Idra kasi, pag hawak niya na yung chopper niya, na positionan ka na, it's almost like a one-shot, one-kill. Kasi susundan ka na niya. Ititrail niya na yun ng pre-fire, ng wallbang. So, again, dangerous grounds for anybody who's facing Idra.
Okay, tignan natin. Definitely a different play po. Narinig ako ni
Ah,
PJ.
yeah.
Nandun na siya. Pero nga lang, Candy at Young J nagalit na nga. Takes out 3 players because ang ganda ng smoke coming in from Smart Omega just to go in there for the defense. But then, unfortunately for them, PJ and Owen, they have to go and pick up the bomb. And tignan mo, kompleto pa ang SMO.
Dangerous nga yan kasi is it too late? So this is only a 7 win or 7 round target dito mga kaibigan. Oh, si Whoopi naglalakad na naka R9, inabangan ni Owen doon. And this is again, it's still looking pretty dark. Medyo nahihirapan pa rin dito ang side ng STI Olympians. And ito na sinasabi natin, Beef Mami, ayaw man natin batiin. Pero ito na yung naging effect nung hindi pagkuha ng objectives. Now si Owen, tinatry niya din gawin yung diskarte ni PJ kanina.
Oo nga eh, pero tignan natin kasi...
And bumalik na naman
Oo,
siya!
bumalik na naman sila dito, pero okay lang kasi may kasama siya. So, they're just trying to go the long way around. Trying na pumitas. Feeling ko dito sa my arches for sure. Kasi once they go in for that rotation, especially si PJ, so mukhang number 1, entry muna. This is gonna be Owen. Try to check the corners and then dapat dun na pumasok si PJ going in there. Tignan mo, exactly.
Yun na.
Di siya nakatingin dun sa area na yun.
And not to mention no backup. Yun talaga yung nakakatakot sa side dito ng E-Olympians. And kung papansinin nyo, medyo impenetrable. Ang hirap ng tapusin ng mga ganitong gunfight. Si Idra gets taken out by PJ. Buhay pa. Konting-konti na lang dito ang hahabulin ng ating Smart Omega. They are just 3 rounds away from closing this and getting another 2-0. Speaking of another, that's another kill from Candy.
Yun na nga, I mean, with PJ, meron na siyang chopper the other hand. Sobrang ganda talaga nung paglabas niya ng MW11, di ba? Going in versus a chopper, nanalo pa siya doon. But unfortunately, hindi niya nalabas yung chopper up against Candy. So, ayun na nga, parang yung mga micro-adjustments na nakita natin from Owen and PJ na if they were looking at the same direction, okay na sana, may trades na sana na nangyayari. But now, speaking of, tignan natin kung it's the same case here. Kasi 5 and 7, konti na lang, match point advantage na.
Ito na nga, and kung ganito man ang mangyari, hindi naman sana magdilang ang hell na mag-blow out tayo ng 7-0. Ito ang pinakamalinis na search and destroy throughout the entire Pro League. And Smart Omega will be the one to do so. Here we go. 1 minute and 25 seconds na lang. And tingnan mo yung distribution dito ng Smart Omega. Ang ganda ng positioning nila. All lanes covered. We have a 2-1-2 system ngayon. And may isang nagro-rotate pa dito, Beef Mami.
Yeah, speaking of the rotation, ang ganda talaga nung play na yun from Whoopi. Because nakita niya si Idra was actually getting attacked coming in from the side of PJ. And now with that information, yan, dalawa na yun nasa Alpha. Kasi before, it was just Idra. And now yung information yun, okay, siguro sa Alpha film kaplanto. But PJ finally gets one essential kill. Idra though, applies that pressure. Zunex getting that damage. Ito na nga.
Ay!
Yeah, closing the gap. QWERTY
Ganda.
goes in there with a switchblade. And yun na, maganda nga yung response ngayon coming from STI.
Nice. Now, dalawa na lang natitira dito sa ating Smart Omega, mga ka-community. Make that one. Nag-iisa na lang dito si Rage. At mukhang nakapagtanim na din ang ating E-Olympians. Ay, ito na nga, mukhang nabati na yung sinasabi ko kanina. What a shot from PJ. And finally gets on the board with one round. Now switching sides.
Okay, ang ganda. Ang ganda ng response coming in from STI kasi nga, pumunti sila dun sa Alpha. Every time they try to go for B, alam nila hindi gumagana talaga yun. Especially hindi makapitas si PJ when it comes to the first blood. But now, we're finally having that switcheroo. SMO, they're gonna be going in for the plan. Going in for that Alpha, going aggressive.
Ito na, utilities raining. There we go. Virus with a slide peek. Takes out Rage. Ganon din kay Hydra. Mga kaibigan, si Zunex ito na, humahataw na. Grabe naman talaga mga kaibigan. Oh! Wow! Just like that. Just, how would I say this? 19 seconds? Was that 19 seconds only? And that's one round right there on the side of STI Olympians.
Bilis.
Bilis.
Sobrang bilis. Ang ganda ng response yun. That aggression
Okay.
coming in from STI. Well-deserved. Pero tignan natin. Feel ko they're gonna just slow things down for SMO. Pipitas yan. And maganda yung bomb carrier natin na si Candy. He's just staying back. And now speaking of Whoopi, finally gets that first opening
Uy.
kill.
Grabe, okay. Biglaan yun, guys. And now with, this is a very good vantage point din for Rage. Ano? Medyo magiging passive muna sila ng konti. Hindi ko sasabihin na may karapatan sila ngayon na mag-relax. Kasi again, mukhang komportable ngayon yung STI Olympians dito, Beef Mami. Eh. So, wala pang napipitas on the side of Smart Omega. 3 na lang sa STI Olympians. Candy's gonna win this. Oh, sasabihin ko pa lang dapat kung nabuhay pa siya doon, Beef Mami, ewan ko na lang.
Tignan na. may bukas pa. Tignan natin.
Hey.
Diba? Yung STI.
Oh!
Speaking of, one more point. We're finally here at the map point advantage coming in here. I mean, map advantage rather, map point. Omega doing such an amazing job when it comes to adjustments. And for STI, feeling ko the real score of this is probably 6-4, eh, no? Kasi
Good predict.
exactly with the attacking side. But now with the defense, medyo nahirapan na talaga sila.
Ayun, PJ goes after Whoopi. Hindi ko naman sasabing personal to, pero yun ang mga nakikita ko sa side ni PJ. Ano? Talagang pinipitas niya yung isa sa mga pinakamahalagang elements dito ng Smart Omega, which is si Whoopi. Now, this is a 6-2 so far, mga ka-community. Wow! What a slide peek from QWERTY and takes out Hydra. Si Candy naman bumawi kay Virus.
Okay, speaking of, tingnan ko si PJ finally
Uy!
gets that quick scope down. Not being caught with his PJs down. Tinaas niya, gets that kill. And now, buhay na buhay pa rin ang STIE Olympians. And now, a 6-3. Siyempre, malayo pa rin yung journey ng STI. But definitely very doable. And now, 2-3 split. 2 going into B. And then A having 3 players from STI.
Wow, Whoopi, ayun na nga, medyo na-concast lang ng konti. Babagal lang po ako, mga kaibigan. Ayun na, failed isang utility throw dun sa side ni Whoopi. But Young J takes out Virus and PJ. Again, alanganin na naman sa side dito ng STI Olympians. Si Owen hindi na naman nakatakas, and Candy again with another. And QWERTY takes out Candy on the other hand.
Ay, ito na nga. QWERTY, possibility
Last-
to get the third. Gets
Oh,
the
no.
third. But
Oh!
then unfortunately for them, Hydra is already there. Having that pinch in Omega with a convincing 7-3. Smart Omega just proves na sila ang bossing dito sa slums S&D.
2-0 once again, Beef Mami, on the side of Smart Omega. The top dogs are barking again, but definitely biting back. Ang ganda naman siyempre ng showing ng STI Olympians. Ano? Natuwa din ako, to be honest. Gaganda ng moments ng ating mga E-Olympians. Especially PJ, na medyo nag-alangan pa kami nung una na mukhang di na yata siya sa base. Pero may plano, nagkaroon ng plano.
Of course. Like I said, diba, nung before mag-end yung match na to, si PJ gets those essential kills. Marunong siya pumitas talaga. Pero I feel like yung moments na medyo malayo siya from his teammates, yun na nga, nahirapan nila. Feeling ko nung last round, nung nasa attacker yung SMO, nakita natin si Whoopi, nandun siya eh. Almost through mid, nandun siya sa may arches. Kumukuha talaga siya ng pitas na pitas, and that was such an important kill. And that's why yung information na yun, kasi kung you're at the back end, kung yung sniper gives you that information, you need to have that secondary. And
Ito.
PJ shouldn't be that secondary. Dapat siya yung primary eh.
Yeah, mahalaga yun. And sabi ko nga kanina, hindi kaya too late na para sa side ng STI Olympians na humabol si PJ, no, na sumunod sa mga teammates niya or backupan siya ng mga teammates niya kasi by the time na nagsimula na silang maka-round, it was already a 5. So medyo mabigat na trabaho na din yun on the side of SEO.
Nagising siya dun sa last round eh. Ang
Yes.
galing niya. Sobrang galing ng mga kills niya at the very end. But unfortunately, medyo too late na nga for him. And now, going in for that 1v1. And this is actually one of my favorite moments. Ano?
Oo.
Kasi akala mo si PJ actually has the upper hand. Pero from Candy, nag-reposition siya doon, going in for the heady and for the defense and gets that clutch out. Pero syempre with STI, ang galing. Actually, I'm impressed Like yung mga plays nila, parang hindi sila nawawala. It's just medyo na-outclass lang talaga sila ng SMO.
And again, yung pagiging compact din, napansin ko yan, Beef Mami. So, if you look at the minimaps kanina, mga ka-community, talagang medyo kalat yung side ng STI, yung Olympians natin. Whereas yung sa SMO, meron talagang tactical play na pumasok. Talagang may 2-1-2 sila, if we could call it that. Meron din namang clustered sila. Lalo na doon sa mga moments na attackers yung SEO na kailangan talaga nila magtanim. So magkakasama. Good stuff right there. And again, the gunfight sila yung nananalo. Candy, to be specific.
Yes, Candy. Grabe talaga mang-clutch itong player na to. And not just that, actually, Idra was also
totoo yan.
very impressive. Applying that pressure, knowing very well na yung hawak niya is the chopper. Just, wala. Only bala lang yan.
Paano yun? Paano?
Ako si M16 at your service.
Hey, speaking
Ako
of-
si Chopper at your service. And now, the MVP of our matchup is going to be
Nangongolekta
Candy.
talaga to.
Oo nga eh.
Nangongolekta to, guys. May buff ang ating Candy, mga ka-community. And with 44 kills to his name in hard points, a search and destroy. Really, really good dozen kills right there. And again, that's all she wrote. Ito po si Candy, mga kaibigan. Talagang larong-laro.
Oo nga eh, naka-ilang MVP na sa atin, naka-tatlo
Tatlo
or
na yata.
apat going into
Oo.
this play-ins and now at the group stages. Again, very impressive stats from actually both of these teams, but obviously just the top-notch coming in from the side of Omega.
Again, Candy, ikaw mag-share ka naman kung ano man yung kinakain mo sa araw-araw na naglalaro ka dito. But again, congratulations to Smart Omega, still almost untouched, Beef Mami. STI Olympians, again, medyo unfortunate kanina na nagkaroon nga sila ng point deficit kasi nagkaroon ng team violation. But I would still be positive na they're gonna give us good moments.
Oh, of course. As in, like, even na natalo sila today, there were just so many plays na ang sobrang talino talaga. And syempre, hindi sila maubusan when it comes to those really good plays. And also when it comes to those individual players nga, si PJ, si Zunex, as in, hindi na sila mawawala. Maybe what they need is a little bit more of a push when it comes to, winning all of these gunfights. And really just the pace. Feeling ko yung guidance lang talaga yung kulang eh. Yun na yun eh. But anyway, with all of that being said and done, match number 3, done and dusted. Match number 4, don't miss it. Bren Ebro versus Lao Playbook Eagles. We'll be right back after this short break.